This is kind of switching the subject, kind of too. But do you think anything with AI should have like a watermark AI?
Yes, but I think that it's gonna just. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think it could happen, but I do think that it should. I think there should be something.
There's some stuff that's just like, oh, like that's really believable,
right?
And I'm like, yeah, like because of course, especially a still picture with how good AI is. I'm pretty sure that picture probably looked real.
Yeah, I think that most people in my generation could probably still tell as of the recording of this video if a picture was AI. But that being said, I think that we're looking for minute things like the shading of the skin, or like you can tell like with the skin is so smooth or something like that. But I'm saying a layman person who doesn't even understand the capability of AI, who's not on social media all the time, they're gonna see an image and be like, oh, this is real. The reason why I was saying all this is because on Truth Social, all they do is send AI photos and videos to each other, and they think that it's real. Or it'll be like Donald Trump with a Superman. His like it'll be him in his regular like presidential suit, and he's ripping up his thing, and it's his Superman. It's a patch underneath, and they're like, "Wow, he took this picture in front of the Oval Office. Took this picture." What do you mean took this picture? You think he actually went there and did that? And they're literally commenting saying, wow, best president ever. And it's like, what are you talking about? And it's like, and he's flying. Or like, I'm like, what are you guys doing? And it is literally so crazy. So I could not go on there. I'm so sorry. I don't even know what they post about on there because I only see like screenshots of what Donald Trump posts. And he obviously has the most likes and followers on there because it's his app. And they love like interacting with him. But I wonder what they're saying on there, like on their own posts. I don't look.
It's probably really just so... a social media app to worship Trump. Really, you think about it.
I'm sure that it is.
Who else is on there?
Well, obviously, like I said, or we were talking about timelines or whatever. My time is curated to only show me the craziness on there. I just don't really feel like because of the craziness that I saw that there's anything normal on there, but there might be. I don't know if you're on Truth Social. Let us know.
Oh, and then also too, and this is going kind of back to the other thing. But I know you probably heard about this. So what is crazy when you're saying that racism is so normalized now. That lady who got that fundraiser.
I was just about to say that too, but I didn't go into that. That is literally crazy, and that's why I was saying that it's more rampant now. And do you think really, honestly, in your head, do you think those people voted for Kamala Harris?
Oh, of course not.
So if you don't know, this woman, and I don't know every single detail about the fundraising, but she was on a playground with her kid or whatever, and apparently there was a boy who was black, and he like touched her purse or went to her purse or took something out of her purse. I don't know if he did. Did he actually steal something? I don't remember what it was.
But the kid had mental illness too.
Yeah, he did. And he was really young. I'm talking like 8 years old or younger or something like that. And she calls him the N-word. Yeah. Hard R, right? And so this guy he doesn't capture her saying it originally, but he starts filming, of course, and then she's like defending herself saying he shouldn't have touched my stuff and blah 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 blah, and she says it again, right? And so she doubles down on it, and that long story short, there was a subset of the country who agreed that she should be able to say that to a child, and they raised a fundraiser where she
over $700,000.
Oh yeah, over $700,000, and she claimed that she was at her because you have to have a purpose on GoFundMe. She started on GoFundMe, I think. Yeah. And they took it down. She had claimed that she felt there was like safety concerns and that people were sending her death threats, so she had to relocate her family or something like that. And so they raised all this money for her.
And mind you, she pushed the goal. Like I don't know where she started off at. It could have been like 200 or 500, and then she pushed it to higher, and then went higher. Like because once she reached 700, now she has it at $1 million.
Who needs $1 million to relocate? Where are you going? Are you going to Hawaii? Hawaii? Are you going to get to the top of the I don't know. Where are you going? Like, please let us know. Because I'm trying to figure out.
Because all you need is your down payment and then moving costs.
She's getting her apartment in Hong Kong, which is the most expensive real estate in the world. She's getting in a high rise or something. I don't know. But the point is that is crazy. Like, I understand. But the thing is like, okay, freedom of speech, great. No one is sending her to jail. She's not going to be in alligator Alcatraz. She's not going to be sitting there in under the jail cell in the prison. She's not going anywhere crazy. She just got the repercussions of people being obviously upset that she said that to a child. And I'm not condoning any of the threats that she got or anything like that. But like $1 million, come on.
And then they say, oh, you guys need to get over that. That was over 200 years ago. You didn't experience it. You guys don't, like, what? Like, you pull up your bootstraps and be able to do, like, there's no such thing as oppression. You guys have the same equal opportunities. And I'm like, that is all lies.
Everyone hates that I'm the liberal left warrior on these videos, but all of it is lies, and it is because...
No, I definitely agree. I feel like I'm very middle. Obviously, I just can't vote middle. What's that party called?
The Independent?
Yeah.
Right, because they'll never be on a... Not never, but statistically, historically, they have not been on the ticket like that. But the point is that when we're talking about the tried and I was going to say tried and true, but the long-standing discussion about slavery and segregation and the effects of it, whatever. If you actually are coming from a place of understanding and not a place of just let me listen so I can respond. There is no way that once somebody sat down and explained to you how or why people are talking about, and this also when we're talking about the victim mentality, they say that same thing about black people. You're just being a victim mentality, blah, 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 whatever. But it's like, you did all of these things, and like now we are much, much farther than we were before, but then they expect everyone to be at your level right now by snapping their fingers when we are still heavily underfunded in our schools, heavily over-policed, and there's a lot of gentrification and gerrymandering and all these other things that and the list goes on and on. You know
what their favorite response is? All right, tell me one thing that you don't have an equal, that you can't do that I can do, or tell me one way that you have that you don't have an equal opportunity with right now.
Okay, but that's not the point. We're talking about groups of people, and I know you're not saying that, but we're talking about a whole group of people, and we're talking about a period of time. It's very easy to not be nuanced, and that's why we have an issue nowadays of misinformation and things like that, because it's so easy to be like, okay, we have equal rights under the law. That's it. That's all the conversation requires. But that's not true. This is a much more nuanced conversation of, okay, that might be true, but let's look at the amount of black children who are less likely to get in these spaces because they're already underfunded at birth. I mean, from there's so many issues. Black women being underfunded or underhelped by the school systems in the area, that's not for black women. I meant for kids in general, black kids in general, or people in these impoverished areas. It's really more about class lines and the over policing, like I said, and black men being taken and put into prison, and they're being put into prison for things like trying to be able to be financially stable. And they resort to whatever illegal thing so that they can do that because you're not funding the schools and they're not seeing examples of what they can be and all those things. And of course, statistically, more white people are going to be in a better position. Also, when you had 400 years of generational wealth and free labor for that time period as well, how could you not be in a better position? And then you call black people lazy and not wanting to do this and not wanting to do that, but you didn't give them the same cards. They might have the same rights and stuff under the law, but the same cards were not there. And I know I'm all over the place and I'm trying to say eight things at one time, but I think if you're watching this video, you probably understand what I'm trying to say. There's a lot to it, and it's way more nuanced than just saying, we all have equal rights, so stop complaining, because that's not what it is at all. And we need to figure it out. I don't know how. I don't know if we ever will. I was talking to Dad. I think I'm leaving the country.
Where to?
I always drop the big gems on your videos. I should have said me leaving the country. Not where. I don't know where to, and it's not anywhere near soon or whatever. But I was watching this. I literally woke up the other day. It was like Saturday, I think, and I got this recommendation on my YouTube video, and it was this black woman, and she had moved to. I forgot which city it was, but it was in China. She moved to a city in China. The city has 20 million people in it. Okay. And she moved in 2019. So this is pre-pandemic time.
I don't know if she had been scared.
Okay. Okay. Not too much.
I'm just saying, it's like, you're not in your safe place. Just my fault.
It's okay. Well,
safe spot.
The thing is that China, and I feel like I said that like Trump. China was one of the first people to shut down because they knew about I guess they had more of like the patient zero or whatever. So they were the first one to shut down. I think China was actually pretty ahead of the game when it came to safety because of that. The outbreak I think if I'm not mistaken, it did start in Wuhan. I don't know. I just don't want to have any misinformation. People are like, you're blaming China. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that they were ahead of the game. So wherever she was, I'm sure was secured. No one could come in, no one could go out, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't think that she probably was that scared. The issue is that there's so many people in China that is probably was really hard for them to contain. But anyway, so I'm watching the video. She's talking about how she has an international job. She moved from the United States. She teaches English to Chinese students. And she doesn't have to know Mandarin. She only speaks English, and she teaches English to bilingual students who know English and Mandarin, but they're Chinese. And so she didn't. That's already one thing that she liked. She didn't have to know it for her job. You know, obviously you learn a little bit of it, you know, because you live there, but you don't have to be fluent in it so you can teach it, right?
Yeah.
So then also she was an English teacher for that, and then also. And when I say English, I mean essay writing, not English as in like speaking English. And then she gets $30,000 of US dollars. Okay, and she said $30,000 I think puts you below the poverty line in the United States or close to. And then she said $30,000 there. She's upper middle class. She said her job pays her $1,200 in travel a year for her to go back to see her family in the United States. They pay for half of her rent. Her rent is $600 or $700 a month, US dollars. Okay. And then they pay for all her public transport. She said it's impeccably clean. If you went to any city in the United States with 20 million people in it, you would actually cry at the stench on the street.
That's crazy.
They're incredibly clean there. The culture is different. And when you go, and I think that us as Americans are so close-minded to other places and other areas, and not that we're told to hate everywhere else. It's just like very much like America's the best, and we've got this and that, blah, 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 blah. And that might all be true, but there are billions of people living outside the United States. Yeah. There are more people outside the United States than in the United States. Yeah. Are they living terrible lives? Like, is there something we just don't know about? And it's like, there are people who are living well in these other countries and coming from the United States and going somewhere else. And I think that a lot of, and what she was saying was, she said she could literally she eats for like $2 US dollars a day. She said she's half of her money that she makes goes to her student loans. I mean, her student debt. And so like the concept of being able to take $30,000 US dollars and stretch it like that in a different country, when here in 2025 you can't get anything with 30,000, I think that is just something looking into, being like, do I want to be here long term? Yeah,
I was literally just watching a video on just a car video of this Swedish car brand, and it was this guy in Sweden, and it was last night, and I was just thinking, man, it's just like, he grew up in Sweden, knows Sweden, that's his whole life. And and then we look at it like, we look at other people like, oh, I wonder how's it, like, are you guys good? Like, right. But he's probably thinking like, are you guys good? Right. Like, are you, like, based off what they probably see on the news, they're like, I know, honestly, I want to go there. That sounds dangerous. And I'm like, to them, like, just like life, how being so normal of, like the driver's seat being on one side,
right. That's it.
Their just way of living. I'm like, that's just, they were born, raised, and that's how they grew up. And to them, that's just normal life, and they're not being deprived or anything.
Right. And I honestly, and again, this is my timeline showing me these things, but like I have been seeing so many people from other countries, because I don't know, the political standing on other people's country in like the Western world right now is iffy, because I think there's been a rise of like right-leaning, not only content but also ideology in layman people's brains.
And we're only in the first year. I'm scared.
I know. We're only in the first 6 months. We're in the first half of year, but in other countries, there has been also a rise of right-leaning ideologies in there, but there are still a lot of left-leaning people, because you have to think about like very left ideals that are here that we say are left are like commonplace in the Western world. Universal healthcare, free childcare, like all of those, not all of them exist everywhere, but I'm saying that there's a lot of people who just are like, that's common sense. Why would we not want that, right? And then in America, it's been very like, well, no, because we can't do that because we're America and we have too many people, or blah, blah, blah. There's always an excuse, right? And there's always a fight here, right? Whereas there's a lot of things that we would consider left here that is not. But the point I was trying to make is that there now, with Donald Trump winning, the people who are left-leaning in these countries are literally going, what is going on.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into this, but I can't imagine that our tourism is up. I think that people are now coming to the United States less because they're scared. Not maybe as much as probably the media is saying that it is. I don't know how much I have to look into that.
Yeah.
But obviously people don't want to move to a place where there's a whole bunch of issues on citizenship, right? That's not a good look. And like there's a lot of, and like then, okay, if I am a person of color from not the United States and I want to immigrate there and I am legal, like are there issues with, you know, people just assuming that I'm not legal because they're doing that to people right now?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so there's a lot going on with the sentiment around the United States because of the administration right now. And I don't know, there might be some people who love it and want to come here more, but...
I wanted to move to a different country, but I'm like, I wonder if I'm getting too old to be doing that. And I wish I would have done that more in my earlier YouTube
and then came back? Like, you think your end goal would always be the United States?
No, it's just to try it out for a year. I don't think you want to move somewhere permanently?
I don't know. I never thought about that, but I don't know if I would do a year. It would have to be longer than that.
Probably a year.
Because the amount that it would take you to get, I mean, however long, it just would be so much to restart in a new country and learn whatever language is there and this and that. And there's going to be a lot of things you probably end up falling in love with about that country that is not in the United States that you can't get. And if they don't lower these prices, I promise you that's going to happen. A lot of people in my generation are going to be leaving. And now that there's not this big, scary what's outside the United States, I think that we have been fed a lot of what I would consider propaganda. Not that the United States is not cute, fun, quirky, fresh, great. We have a lot of rich history. I understand all the good things about America, but that doesn't mean you can't be critical about it. And I think that my generation has like completely pulled the veil off and we're like, whatever you're saying is not really, it's going in one ear and out the other. Like I can understand that there are billions of people who are living great lives outside of the United States. Let me go explore and see what that could be like for me.
There are so many black content creators that live in Thailand. Like, I know so many black content creators that live out there.
I didn't know they were specifically in Thailand, but yeah, there's a lot of black people who just leave and go and do, and that's fun too. You can do you can have a whole channel about that, and there will be a lot of people who watch it. There's a lot of people who want, especially now, like I'm sure that's super popular. If you started a channel going somewhere else, especially like through the lens of being a black person in X country living there for a year. How is it here? What do I pay? Do I experience racism here? Like, what is it? What's the vibe like? You know, all of that. The education system, everything. I think that people would definitely watch and tune into that. I would, and I'm about to start looking at people.
I just don't want to wake up with a cobra inside my bedroom.
Where are you at? In the wild? What do you mean?
Nah, they be in them huts.
Who's they?
The
you never actually
the cobras.
Okay, I don't know where the huts are talking about. I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you in India or any of them places, it'd be like crazy animals. Even Thailand. Well, you can see cobra in the city.
Right. So it just depends on where you are, I think, and it also depends on what kind of industrialization in the city that you're in, etc. But there are. You would have to do your research. Yeah, is all you would need to know. But they also told me I was gonna have a scorpion in my shoe every month in Arizona. I've never seen one. Have you seen scorpions and stuff? I've seen one scorpion. Okay, they literally scared me down to the bone.
Which is crazy. I haven't seen one scorpion.
They said I was gonna be pinched in my sleep.
I don't want to knock on wood. I mean, I don't want it to happen to me. But yeah, I haven't seen one scorpion in Vegas.
Because I think they're probably like anywhere else, the wildlife scatters from human populations, you know. They're not just over here saying, hey, how y'all doing? Let me get a beer.
I've seen plenty of videos on in Arizona about rattlesnakes being in backyards and stuff.
It depends on where you are, I'm assuming. I was in Tucson, and also I was by the more college campus, so there was a lot of people. But if you go on the outskirts where like the nicer people have houses, I mean the nicer people, the people have nicer houses, bigger houses, and more land, there's more
Did they have in orientation, did they say like have a briefing on like bitten by a rattlesnake or anything?
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
That would scare. Why would you do that? If you're with your parents,
you're like safety. Like, you know, imagine you're going to camp and they say, oh, things to look out for.
No.
Oh. So in orientation, do they be like, okay, like do they give you guys like safety education when it comes to like being out at night and stuff of that sort?
Yeah, not for wildlife though.
No, yeah.
Just being out at night, like the safety of the police on campus and what to do if you got too drunk or someone else did or whatever the case may be. But I don't think that picture coming from Boston, you're bringing your kid.
Was there like a safe hotline for if you're 20 and too drunk?
They had a seminar. I think this was for, I can't remember if I did this through my, like the fraternity, like the rushing process, or if I did it through just being a normal student. But they had a seminar talking about how, if I'm not mistaken, they still have this on the campus, where if you are something like no fault, like basically if you call the police and you're underage, because you called and you saved someone's life, or like you helped them get to the hospital or whatever, you don't get in trouble because of that. Like it's because they don't want to prevent you to be like, I don't want to call the police because we got too drunk and I don't want to get in trouble. I would rather their lives be saved, you know, and not get in trouble rather than doing that. So they just say like, call us. We're not going to get you in trouble. We'll just help you out.
Because I was watching, the reason I was thinking about it, I'm like, I wonder what kind of orientations they have for different things, because I was watching the game, even though it was a TV show, but it was just, they were giving an orientation to the football players about women who try to get pregnant by you. And I'm like, I wonder if that's a real thing.
Well, no.
You don't think so?
Well, no.
You don't think they have like, just like, hey, like secure your career, you know?
What kind of egotistical, like, hey, these shawties are here trying to get you, like
100%. You think that's false?
No, but like enough for them to have a meeting about it. Like,
yeah, like
hey,
it's like
bros,
all part of orientation. You know?
I just really doubt it. Like I really doubt it. Wherever you put your dingling in your pants, that's up to you. Okay, if you want to mess with crazy women, then I don't know what to tell you. That's what I would say if I was the coach. But I doubt that they would have that long a meeting like that. But yeah, I think I do want to leave the country at some point. We'll see.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
Well, we've never, both you and I have never left, right?
Where is this cruise going?
We're going to.
People ask me too.
We're going to Cozumel, Mexico.
Oh, Mexico.
It's a city in Mexico. I think that's. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've only ever read it. So. And then that's all I know actually. We actually are go. I know we're going other places. I think it's like two or three places. One of them has to be.
But different country places.
Yeah,
right?
they're different countries.
Yeah.
I think that one might just be the Bahamas. It can't be far. We're not going like to Europe, so it has to be like Mexico and
we
somewhere like
a European cruise.
Yeah, but I heard that you have to go fly to Europe first and then get on a cruise and then you go around and then you fly back, which is just so much money because you got to pay $2,000 for a nice, whatever to get there and then get back. And I cannot, if I'm going anywhere overseas, my plane ticket is going to be thousands of dollars. I have to be horizontal on the plane. I have to be in I can't just be sitting up. I don't know how people sit upright for 14 hours unless you had to.
You and your friends never crossed the border?
No.
Arizona?
Well, no. No, I had the opportunity to.
Oh, okay.
And you could cross the border and go to Nogales. That's a city right outside of Tucson. But we never did that. I know a lot of my friends did. They did it for like spring break and stuff like that. They would go down there. But I don't know if this is like I don't know how much this happens statistically, but I would often hear horrors about college kids experiencing. Not kidnapped, but definitely getting robbed at the border because they're thinking like these dumb white kids at the U of A are crossing the border so they can drink cheap tequila or whatever, and so they are predating. I don't know if that's a word on you in Nogales. I don't know if that's true. I'm sure the people of Nogales are very beautiful and lovely. So if you're from there, I'm not saying anything. But I'm just saying that's often what we would hear in the college, around from people. But people still went there. They crossed the border. I just decided to go to, I think we went to San Diego instead for our spring break. So I never ended up going over the border. So why would you go over the border? You ain't that far from it.
Yeah, and plus just too many horror stories with cartels and
right. I think it's also an unfamiliarity. Like when you and that's another thing of like being from the United States, we don't have the experience of like going in a foreign place. Yeah. And if you think about like people in Europe, they are like in their countries. That's so mind-boggling to me. Their countries are the size of our states. Yeah. Like the fact that you could literally go from France to Spain to all these places, like, and they're the size of Wisconsin. Like it's not, and we have this whole big, huge thing, like where you're in the same country, and then not only think about that, like the culture is different across the border in these countries. The language is different, and you're completely like in a different area when you go there. And I think that's so just so interesting that there's all that rich history right up close to each other.
I feel more happy though now I got these because I can just like listen to the language. I actually was around some people speaking Spanish, and I was thinking, I'm like, should I chime in on the conversation? Because I can say, hey, translate this. And if you speak Spanish,
it's loud enough to speak something back.
Yes. Oh, no. It's not loud enough to speak something back.
So you'd have to say.
So they would say to me in Spanish, it will tell me what they're saying.
Right.
Then I'd say English on the phone and show them what I'm saying.
I was gonna say I don't know if it could teach you Spanish.
That would be nice. They should make it where they can have an external speaker to speak out what I'm saying. Ah, that's smart. I should.
What?
I should go ahead and invent that.
That is crazy. They're gonna undercut
that is actually really smart though. Put an external speaker, and then I could say, "Oh, hey, I'm looking."
That's right.
I'm looking for spicy tacos,
and it would just say it back.
Yeah. Grande el taco.
Well,
I mean,
she said the big taco.
No. Fuego taco.
But what you just said.
You know what's funny? When people do like try to speak, why you say taco? If it's taco, why you say taco like you're Hispanic?
Because that's all they.
No, but I'm saying no, like how when
like with an accent.
When people try to do an accent.
Well, I mean, you don't want
accent. When people are trying to say things in another language, and then like one of the words are English, they say it in a the accent of that.
Well, you want to sound like you're native, or whatever. I've been told I have pretty good pronunciation, but I have been learning Spanish for 11 years actually, and it's been crazy. And I think it's really just because I need to drop myself in, insert Spanish country here, and then literally just learn the language there and actually speak with people, because it's so hard to just learn off an app or learn from a teacher when you're not using it. I haven't used it in years, and I'm already losing what I learned in college, and I lost everything from high school, and I had to restart when I got to college. So it's just a lot. But one of my main things is that even though I just haven't spent the time and effort, I would love to be bilingual. I just feel like it's so beneficial. There are so many Hispanic people in the country.
Oh yeah, I would love to.
It'd be so, you'd open up a whole, you know how many countries you could go to if you spoke Spanish after being bilingual? And then every other place, their kids know.
So if you could download a language pack right now.
Spanish.
Over Mandarin?
Spanish.
That's Mandarin is the most spoken.
Yeah, in China. But I can go to any Spanish-speaking country and even probably be able to go to Brazil or Portugal and speak, a little bit of, or understand the Portuguese and maybe be able to speak a little bit of it.
What if they can install something inside your head to have you have ChatGPT features? Would you do it?
No, absolutely not. You're not gonna turn me into a bionic robot.
What if they can replace your heart and give you something artificial?
I don't want to be artificial.
I would take something artificial.
Okay, but that's too scary to me. And I would be thinking that something.
I want to live a long life.
First of all, that would just. Do you know how quickly they would be on the? This is the microchip. They're good. This is the. End of the,
See, but I'm talking about just for example, an iRobot arm. Like if your arm got cut off, would you?
Oh well, yeah, if it's cut off.
Well, yeah. Okay, so would you take a robotic arm that looks human? Yeah.
If my arm was already off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't cut off.
Okay, so would you do it if they said, hey, it gives you more strength and all this stuff? Would you do something like that?
Cut off my arm for it? No.
Yeah, but it's a surgical process.
No, I'm not doing that. Would you get the leg lengthening surgery? Have you heard me say that?
I've seen that. That looks too painful.
They said it's incredibly painful and it's months of rehab, but you look taller after. I mean,
yeah, that's crazy though. But also too, your weight don't proportion out.
Oh, you saw?
Nuh-uh. Well, I'm just assuming your weight because I actually was watching because I follow this guy. His name is King the Great, and it's just I follow him because it's so funny how he just lives life on easy mode and stuff of that sort. He's this guy, he's 6'8".
Oh, I see. He just got cards were dealt.
6'8", yeah. And literally, and all he does, he has a guy following him. And when he walking down the night strips of different cities,
people
these girls just are all over him, right? And they he lives life on easy mode. And I looked at the comments one time, and someone said, "I already scheduled my knee surgery. I scheduled my knee surgery for next week, so I'm gonna be good." I'm like, that's crazy. He just lives life on easy mode.
Yeah, and they're not going to be recovered until after Donald Trump's out of office. Because they said, I actually just looked into it. Not that I would ever do it, because I really don't care being short. But I probably would if I was straight. That would just be I mean, I don't really care now. But that
Mom did this to me.
No, Mom and Dad really did a lot, being the actual Mickey and Minnie Mouse from straight out of Disney World.
I'm like, if Mom was normal height, I could have been 6-something. Because I at least made it to 5'9".
Right.
With her being literally...
I see what you're saying.
She's under average. Like, she's like a couple inches.
She's actually tiny.
A couple inches away from short people.
No, you know she is at the larger range of being a little person.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like you could be 4'11" and be considered a little person. She doesn't have a chondroplasia, but
so if Mom was this at least 5'2", I could have had better. I could have been 6-something.
Right. It just really depends on how the card. My cards were dealt terribly. Mm-hmm. I'm 5'3".
Were you taller than Dad?
No, Dad's 5'5". I'm in the middle of both.
You're 5'3"?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were taller than Dad. Oh, right. I wasn't paying attention.
It's about to end again, so you might want to.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought you guys are about the.
No,
I thought same height or taller. I don't know.
I'm incredibly short, and I do hate it. And I'm about to get the knee surgery. Everybody, so wish me luck. How much does it cost? Is it a lot?
Probably.
I'm sure it's a lot, but.
All right, you guys, we're about to end this off. I may do this second part into a part 2. And may put like, so if you're seeing this part, I'll probably put this in front of the second part to say this is part 2 of the video because I didn't want to have a 2-hour marathon for you guys. So this is part 2. Darius, where can I find you at?
You can find me at Darius. That's actually just my name. A name change might be coming, but Darius on YouTube, and on TikTok it is Darius Gaskin.
And what about the people? My friends go, did you know your brother has a podcast channel?
Oh, they didn't. Oh, I didn't know that people were sending it to you. I do have a podcast channel. You can find it on my regular page. It's linked in the description, but it's called Jokes on Us. So you can type in Jokes on Us Darius, and it'll probably pop up as a pink logo on YouTube. Mm-hmm. You can get it anywhere podcasts are found, or on YouTube.
Is that fun?
It is fun. I do it every Wednesday. Something big is coming in the near future, in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, those are the things. That's where I'm at.
Make sure you guys follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. All ZaddyChunkChunk. That is ZaddyChunkChunk. But ZCCFamily. As we all know, the grind never stops until the ZCC gang is on top. Let's get it!